The first one is what? The first one is what?
Good morning, staff and students.
Yes, we didn't get to any before Mr. Sadu came on the radio.
Could the following students please come to the office at lunch for a pickup? Sage Schwab, Gurveer Hare, Jackson Brach, Gurpreet Dillon, Harvey Gale, and Jashin Down.
This is new this year. Every single day, kids have to go to the office for a pickup. I've been here for 10 years. It is new this year. What is all of a sudden needing to be picked up? I've been at Abbey Senior. What do you mean lunch?
If you're interested in going to Spain during spring break 2021, come to an information meeting today in the Strickland's room, R103. This trip is done through EF Tours and will have a limited...
Are you serious?
Come to the meeting for more information and questions that you may have.
Like sometimes it's not just like...
Want a great dude for Christmas?
Stop talking.
The hair salon.
Stop talking.
Hours are on the screen. Love to see
You're in
you there.
frickin' high school and your parents are bringing you lunch?
Not me. But
The hair studio is open for the holiday season. We offer a full service menu at reduced prices.
People ask me why I plan to move away from North America when I retire.
There's a family gathering at the Indigenous Center on Thursday, December 12th. There will be free food and the clothing room will be open. Bring your friends and family. Attention staff. Today is the first staff versus student volleyball game. Staff will be playing the multicultural ballers. When we win this one today, and we will, we advance to the final next week. Of course we will. Hello, Abbey Senior. If you're interested in politics, diplomacy, and international relations, or simply looking to improve your public speaking, then Model UN Nations Club is for you. Model UN Club meets on Thursdays in Miss Herrick's room at lunch. See you there. Reminder that this Friday afternoon is an Abbey Wellness afternoon. Students will be dismissed at 11:05. Bus students, please check the list on the office windows for your bus home. If you don't see your name on this list, check in with the office and we'll find one for you. Grad clothing is in and available for pickup after school today and lunch tomorrow in Miss Craig's room, R201. And we have another announcement here as well.
Hey Panthers, on December 18th we will be having Jersey Day, the same day as grad versus staff hockey game. If you are still interested in participating in human bowling on ice and or in the game, come to Mr. Druido's from 8 to 11 any day at lunch to pick up a permission.
Those are your morning announcements. Have a great day, Panthers. And back to learning.
All right. So, how about one of those people that was like, I'm pretty confident with number one, tells me the answer to number one. 6 over 5. 6/5 of a minute. That's how we measure minutes, right? How do we measure minutes? 1 1/5 of a minute. Now we're getting close. What's a fifth of a minute? No, you do know. How many seconds are in a minute? 60. What is a fifth of 60? 1 minute, 12 seconds. Does anybody need to see how we got to that answer? Okay. The cold tap, which I will write in blue because it is burr cold. How long will it take to fill the tub? 2 minutes. So 1 tub will be filled in 2 minutes, yes? Right? That's the rate of fill for the 1. What if I use the hot tap, which I'll do in red because, ouch, hot. 1 tub in 3 minutes, yes? If I turn them both on, what math is happening? Addition. and I will fill 1 tub in, I have no idea how many minutes. T. Solve it. Right? So that is, of course, 3 plus 2 over 6 equals 1 over t. 5/6 equals 1t. 5t equals 6. T equals 6/5.
It's like we didn't see anything you wrote.
Somebody reviewed yesterday to tell me to get more RAM. Why is it like what?
Because he said he needs more rounds.
Because it's a piece of crap machine.
This was like RAM truck. I'm like, RAM?
All right. The kayakers are paddling. They are paddling downstream. Yes. Cross multiply. Fraction equals fraction. 5 times t equals 6 times 1. Two kayakers paddle 18 kilometers downstream with the current. In the same time, it takes them to go 8 kilometers upstream against the current. So, they are going downstream and they are going upstream. They have a distance, they have a speed, they have a time. What is their downstream distance? 18. What is their upstream distance? 8. What is their downstream speed? Do you know? It is speed, but is the current helping them or not? So is the current adding to or detracting from their speed? Adding how much? 3. When they come upstream, what is the current doing? Detracting, subtracting. What is the time they spent paddling downstream? What does time equal? Distance divided by speed. What is this distance? Or what is this time? What is this time? What goes in the middle? Equals. Why is this one equals? They paddle the same time. Is that fraction equals fraction? So what do? Cross multiply. 18x minus 54 equals 8x plus 24. 10x equals 68. X equals 6.8. How fast were they paddling if there was no current at all? 6.8 kilometers per hour. Okay? Okay. Okay, the mixture question. Do you know how much acid you have in this experiment? Yes or no? You have no amount for your acid, do you? So therefore, it must be unknown, which means we must give it what? A variable. X equals our acid. Now, if my coffee cup here is full of 100% acid, 100% is 1, yes? How do I show the number 1 when I'm using an X? X, right? But I'm doing a percentage question, so I must need a fraction, yes? So how do I show 100% as a fraction? X over 1? X over x over x. Right? Did everyone agree? Yeah? Okay. Now, as I pour water into my cup, is the acid changing at all? If my cup was filled to here with pure hydrochloric acid, then I poured water in it, if I remove the water, would I still have that much acid? So is the acid changing? What is changing? I'm adding water to it, yes? Okay. Where does the water need to go? Numerator or denominator? Remember, I'm looking for percent of acid. Denominator plus 800 for water, because the acid's not changing, is it? Right? What percent did you get on the test? 16 out of 24. 16 right. You only care about the right answers, yes? If you got 16 questions right, you would have gotten 100%. But sadly, there were 24 questions on the test. So it's 16 you got right, plus the 8 you got wrong, yes? Okay, now that has to equal what? %30 acid, yes? Well, what's 30% as a fraction? 30 over 100. Is that a fraction equals fraction? So what do? Cross multiply. 30x plus 24,000 equals 100x. And then we solve for x. It's something like 300 and 400 milliliters. I can't remember it. I don't care. This is what's important. I trust you can all solve for x when there's no squares. Does everybody understand why? Everybody understand why? Right? Because if I add 30 milliliters of acid in here, and it's 100% acid, it's 30 milliliters divided by 30 milliliters, right? That's 100%. And if I add 800 milliliters, now I have 830 milliliters of liquid, but only 30 milliliters of acid still. Is everybody cool? Okay. Madison, your hand went up, then down, then up, then... Yeah. Of course you can. 3 over 10 is still 30%. Yeah. Of course you can. You also could have made it 0.3 and solved it that way. I don't care. Yeah? All right. How do we do this one? What are my options? And of course, I have a distance, a speed, and a time. It's not upstream, downstream. What are my options? Road and grass. What is my distance? 5 on the road and 2 on the grass. Excellent. What's my speed on the road? Twice as fast as grass. So where should I put the x? With road or with grass? Grass makes more sense, yes? So that makes my road speed what? 2x. If you finish your run in 190 minutes, so my road time plus my grass time equals 190, yes? So what's my road time? 5 over 2x. Plus what's my grass time? 2 over x equals what? 190. And then you solve. This one we should solve. What is the common denominator? $2x. Okay. So what does this guy need? Nothing. 5 plus, what does this guy need? 4 plus, everything's over 2x equals, what's this guy need? to x. 380 x, right? 9 equals 380x. What does x equal? Which is? Do the math, someone. 9 divided by 380. 0.02, right? That seems odd, doesn't it? 0.02 kilometers per minute. Right? Because it's in kilometers and minutes, yeah? So how could you make this work better? What could you do right here that would make it better? Turn that into what? Hours? Because it's 3 hours and 10 minutes, right? So it's 3 hours and 1/6 of an hour, yes? A sixth of an hour is 0.17. So could you make this 3.17 hours? Does that make more sense? So what's 9 divided by 3.17? Close to 3. 3 kilometers an hour. It's not the best running speed, but it makes sense. Is this still right? Sure. My speed was 0.02 kilometers per minute. So, you're right, actually. You're right. Good call, Crystal. This is 3.17, and then I got to multiply that by 2x, don't I? So it's actually 6.34x. So 9 equals 6.34x. So x equals 9 divided by 6.34. It's actually slower. Because 9 divided by 6 is 1.5. Oops. But it's okay. Because what matters is this part. Yeah? All right, are we all good? Okay, listen to me and listen to me carefully. We talked about this yesterday. The most important thing to remember now is you're down to 6 shopping days. That's most important. Okay? Second most important is the fact we have 6 school days left, 7 classes left to get to the end of this calendar year. Now, you know as well as I do, a bunch of you are going to either A, take off that last Friday, or B, be utterly academically useless. So, really, I only have 7 classes. You know you need to write 2 tests in there, right? So now I'm down to 5 classes. 3 of those classes are short classes. So I'm down to 2 days left when I can give you those 2 tests. Yes? Because I would only give you those tests on long days. That should give you a hint as to when it will be. Now, here's where it gets weird. As I was saying yesterday, actually I can't remember if I said it to you or the other class yesterday. Trig is a big unit. Because if you don't have trig up against the wall with its hand behind its back and you whispering in its ear that if it moves you'll kill it, you're not ready for trig 11. Okay? If you were in my honors 10 class, you are significantly better prepared. You've been in my honors 10 class forever. Never mind. If you were in my regular 10 class and you remember everything, you're prepared. If you were in my honors 10 class and you remember everything, you've actually done about 90% of Trig 11 already. Okay? But that being said, ain't one of you done one lick of trig since your grade 10 trig unit ended, which for some of you was middle of October last year. And ain't one of you done trig since then. Maybe you might have done a tiny bit of trig if you've done Physics 11. Maybe. But I cannot guarantee that. So, we will be spending the rest of the time leading up to Christmas making sure that we are up, inside, around, underneath, on top of. We have begirt trig. Okay? Begirt is a $5 word for completely surrounded. Alright? And when I say trig, I mean we will begirt SOHCAHTOA trig. Basic trig. Until you can look at a triangle without even thinking about it and do the equation in your head and not touch your calculator until you go 3.1 times sine 42. That is how good you need to be. Right? So if I drew this, you could tell me what to type already right now on my calculator. What was it? See? We're going to be doing some time with trig. Aight? That's tan. You needed sine. You needed to push 17 sine 43 equals for that question. All right? So, once again, just to remind you, most important, 6 shopping days. Second most important, we need to get good at trig. Third most important, there's only 2 upcoming days which are 80-minute classes, and amazingly, you have 2 upcoming tests. Do the math. Get it? Get why that's funny? Because on the test you'll be doing math? Yes, Zach. Huh? Well, none of you do anything for school on the weekend. And shopping for my present would be something to do with school. So obviously I can't count the weekend as shopping days. I guess so. All right. So you have a review. It starts on page 182. It's not long. That's why I said it. It, of course, what should I have said so I'm not being circumlocutive? It's short.
But it's not long.
It's not long. Go.